Hi everybody, nice to have you here. Henrik here, Vilnius Permaculture. Sitting here on my terrace and recover from the heat. So today we will talk about how you protect your garden and your food forest or your orchard or your trees from heat waves and drought and things like that, because this is a real thing here in Lithuania. It's really warm and windy here right now. So we have one of these serious conditions that can really stress your food forest. So here we are in the food forest, and what you should notice is here that look at this walnut tree is super green, and the weird weather is really hot. I'm standing here at the end of the forest, so I am in the shadow, and the sun is just pumping. It's almost 30. I think we will have 30 degrees Celsius today. But even though you see that all the trees here are thriving fine, but you also see behind here the weed is also thriving, right? So here we have the first protection of your food forest, the ground layer. So this is a battle I have with everybody, that oh, your garden looks horrible, you do not cut the grass and blah blah blah. So it's a fight that you have to resist, because this is the reason why my trees are so green and thriving and growing, because in the morning they collect dew here. So it's a very big difference between night and day in heat. So a lot of dew collection here, and it is the weed that collects it. So you see, if we are out here, look here, this is pure rock. It's clay, hard, dry, totally dried up. Not much can live in that. But in here, when we come a little bit just in the food forest here, down here under, oh, it's totally, the soil is totally wet, and it's really, wet the whole, and it's actually the wet the whole day. So perfect. So keeping the weed here is helping me. And as you can see, much of the weed now have dried up, so it's totally dry. That means it's dead. It doesn't take up any water. It doesn't use any weed. What's actually happening in the soil is that the fungi and bacteria are eating up these roots and so on. So it gives energy to the system. And it's also collecting dew, but it doesn't use it. So this dew, the other plants, and specifically the trees, can use it. So it's plus. So first thing here, creating a system that collects dew, and then we come into the second thing, which is actually the third, but a second thing which connected to this, that in the soil a lot of things are working. So I have different kind of trees everywhere. Here is a fantastic pear tree that is starting, and that means different roots. Here we have a little aronia. So different roots, different system in the soil, so they don't compete. So the only thing I have to think about here is water, enough water, because if there is water stress, then of course everybody will fight. But if there is enough water, then the root system, the different root systems start to cooperate. So then we have cooperation between the plants and the trees instead of competition. And this is a wonderful thing. This is what we want. So different trees, different root systems in the soil, different habitat, and this is also connected to the pest resistance. I don't have any pests here. Maybe I have, but I don't see so much of it, so I don't care. So very, very little. So it takes care of itself because different trees. Now, number 2 is wind resistant. You see over there, I have trees and I standing here in the shadow. So I also have trees on 2 sides, and over there where the birches are growing now, it will also be in the north. So I have pretty good wind resistance here, and even in the storm and so on, nothing happens to my tree. Because you have the 2 drivers of drought, that is the heating, the sun heating up the atmosphere, and we have the wind that dry it out. Perfect for laundry, not so good for an orchard. Now, it's still windy here, and that is a good thing, because you do not want to totally dry up. You don't want the wind to stay totally still, because then you got other problems with the trees. Number 2. And 3, the roots. Roots in the soil, not competing, and you have a big variety of plants in the soil. So protecting the soil with weed and so on, so you protect the water, collecting the water the right way, you different plants, and wind protection. These are the 3 drivers that is most important in this kind of environment, these long summers with warm weather, abnormal warm weather, and very, very little rain. But you see, it works. Back here in the shadow, my God, it's so hot, and it's gonna continue to be hot. We're gonna have weathers who wreak havoc for us year after year. This is the new situation, so we need to adapt, and we need to use new functional methods to make things work. And this system that I have now, it works for now, and I hope it will work, because working with nature is good, working against nature is bad. And we have a lot of people, farmers and so on, who works against nature, so they will also have problem. But we all together need to find out new ways to test and try the best things that we can come up with. So me too, and you too, and everybody. So we continue to grow. Have a nice day.